We have dex builds, strength builds, and yes, an intelligence build in this video for all of you intelligence lovers. So we're going to go ahead and show you 5 builds that are incredibly fun to use and also really simple that anybody can use no matter what your status is in the game. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now for our first build, we are going to be using the Moonveil Katana. This is a really fun build to use and can be even better if you use summons, because I've designed this build for you to stand in your sigil and just blast transient moonlight as fast as possible to take down enemies and bosses with incredible ease. Now, as you can see, you don't have to use summons with this build, but I find for intelligence builds in general, it's just easier overall if you have a summon taking the aggro and you can sit back with your casting or your transient moonlight in this case and just pour out damage without interruption. Now I believe this gameplay is coming to you from New Game Plus 6, and as you can see, we're doing a really good amount of damage. The only problem I find with stance builds though is there's a lot of standing around waiting for those windows of opportunity in order for you to pour out that incredible damage, but if you can manage to do so, you are going to have an awesome time with this build. So for this build, we're going to be using the Moonveil Katana. I'm also using this particular armor set just because I think it looks pretty cool. You can use Rakshasa if you want more damage. I'm using Rolana's Cameo, Magic Scorpion Charm, the Shard of Alexander, and the Ritual Sword Talisman. For your flask, I'm using Magic Shroud and Cracked here, as well as the Faith Knot Crystal tier. If you do have the faith to have Howl of Shabriri, go ahead and put the Bloodsucking Cracked tier here if you want more damage, but I just put the Faith Knot here just so I could activate Howl of Shabriri. Now, for your buffs, you are going to use, like I said, Howl and Terra Magica. This is level 171 build on New Game Plus 6. We have 60 Vigor, 25 Mind, 20 Endurance, 20 Strength, 19 Dexterity, 75 Intelligence, and 24 Faith with 8 Arcane. Now this next build I was actually incredibly surprised by. I have never really used any of the Smithscript weapons, and I really wanted to do some kind of Viking barbarian cosplay using the Smithscript Axe. Now, as all these weapons have that caveat of you have to throw them or you have the ability to throw them, and that's what makes them special, this is no different. It is really great to throw this weapon and have a fun time at range, but I've paired it with a guard counter build in order for us to use the deflecting hard tier and get off some really powerful guard counters against our enemies. Now, the fact that you can throw this means that you can use it at range and take out enemies with incredible ease. And I don't have it currently equipped on this build, but if you use the Arrow's Reach Talisman, it won't give you longer range, but it will stop the damage fall off from you throwing the Smithscript Axe. However, like I said, I really enjoy just using this as a one-handed axe. The axes have incredibly fast swing speed, and with the guard counter build we have set up, I feel like this build performs incredibly well, giving you versatility to do a ranged attack or up close and personal with guard counters, which is why I chose to build it this way. Now, where I think this build really excels is anytime you're fighting a really large boss, i.e. a dragon or something along those lines, where you can target the head. I believe the Fire Giant would work with this as well, but you do a ton of damage with this weapon, hitting a boss in the head rather than any other weak point that they may have. However, as you saw in other areas of the game, if you fight something that you can't target the head, you can still get off some really good guard counters, break stances, and do a really decent amount of damage. So for this build, we're going to be using the Heavy Smithscript Axe. I'm also using the Heavy Serpent Crest Shield just because it matches the armor. I'm using the Pelt of Ravla, the Iron Rivet Armor, the Iron Rivet Gauntlets, and the Iron Rivet Greaves just for the Berserker type feel we get with this set. If you want more damage here, obviously use the Rakshasa armor set, but it is not necessarily required. Now for our talismans, we have the Smithing Talisman, we have the Axe Talisman, the Rotwing Sword Insignia, and the Curved Sword Talisman. For our flask, we're using the Deflecting Hard tier as well as the Green Burst Crystal tier. And when it comes to our stats and buffs, we're using Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Vow for the extra damage and damage negation. This is level 150 build on New Game Plus 6. Vigor 55, Mind 18, Endurance 24, Strength 75, Dexterity 10, Intelligence 11, Faith is at 25, and Arcane is at 11. So for this next build, I wanted to do a strength build with a weapon that I hadn't really done anything with before, and I also wanted us to be wielding a really powerful armor set, so we could pretty much just tank our way through damage and do a crazy amount of damage as well. So the hammer did not disappoint. You get an A scaling with the hammer, and you're also going to be breaking stances with this build, as we are going to do a heavy charged R2 build here with a little bit of Cragblade, but this is a very fun build to use. If you enjoy a strength bonk type of build, this is going to be what I'll call a mini bonk, which allows you to get some really fast swings off one-handed, and if you want to two-hand the weapon, which I suggest you do because you will take advantage of one of our talismans, you're going to do some really fast two-handed swings as well. The damage you can put out with this build is really great. Playstyle in which you can break stances easily also is a lot of fun to use, and I find that anytime I'm using a strength build, this is just the easiest way to play. Now, I thought about doing a guard counter build here as well and adding a shield, but I think I will save that for another day and do some kind of a big tank build or top 5 tank builds you can do in Elden Ring to showcase that type of a build. But as you can see, we're just doing a ton of damage. I absolutely love this build and the ease of its use, and now let's get into equipment. So for this build, we're going to be using the Heavy Hammer with Cragblade. It gets a nice A scaling in strength. We're also going to be using the Verdigris set just for that incredible poise, as well as taking a lot less damage. We're going to use the Great Jar's Arsenal, the Blade of Mercy, the two-handed sword talisman, as well as the axe talisman. For your flask, you're using the strength knot crystal tier, as well as the spiked crack tier. And for your buffs and stats, we have a level 150 build on New Game Plus 6. We have 50 vigor, 15 mind, 40 endurance, 66 strength, dexterity is at 10, intelligence at 7, faith at 30, and arcane is at 11. We're using golden vow and black flames protection for our buffs. Now for our fourth build here in the video, I wanted to take a old favorite weapon that I've seen all over the community and that I actually haven't done a ton of builds with, if any at all. We are going to be looking at a Claymore build that I think performs very well. I believe this is a New Game Plus 6, so we are still able to pull off a lot of damage, and the Claymore has such a unique and awesome moveset that it's not even really about the amount of damage you can pull out, but just the variety of different moves you can use with this Claymore. You have the poking heavy charged R2, you're going to have a mix of standard and pierce damage, and pierce damage is some of the best damage in the entire game. You're also going to have diagonal slashes when you do your light attack two-handed, and you have horizontal slashes when you one-hand this weapon. This is just the epitome of versatility. The build is really great, and we're going to be taking advantage of that pierce damage by using Piercing Fang as the Ash of War. Even though this takes a little bit of time to get set up, Piercing Fang is going to punch through your enemies incredibly easy and do a lot of damage, as we can see here fighting the Fire Giant. So for this build, we're going to be using the Keen Claymore with Piercing Fang. We're also going to be using whatever armor set you would like. I thought this one looked cool, but if you want more damage, use the Rakshasa armor set. I'm using the Shard of Alexander, the Milson's Prosthesis, the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, as well as the two-handed sword talisman. For our flask, I have the Blood-Sucking Crack tier and the Stone Barb Crack tier. And when it comes to our stats and buffs, this is level 150 build on New Game Plus 6. We have Vigor 55, Mind 13, Endurance 23, Strength 18, Dexterity 75, Intelligence 9, Faith at 33, and Arcane at 8. We have Flame Grant Me Strength and Golden Vow for our buffs. And for our very last build of the video, we have a oldie but a goodie as well, the Zweihander with Royal Knight's Resolve. I wanted to go full dex on this weapon, so I went with a dex build with Royal Knight's Resolve. And as you can see, it does very well. Although Royal Knight's Resolve can be a little bit of a boring way to play, just charging up Royal Knight's Resolve and then hitting once and repeating over and over again, you cannot argue with the damage that you get from doing this style of play. It makes short work of pretty much every single boss in the game. It is a lot of fun to use, and this weapon has one of the best charged R2s in the entire game, taking advantage of that awesome pierce damage. So for this build, it's pretty straightforward. We've actually put a Keen affinity on the Zweihander, getting an A scaling and dexterity, as we are rolling a dex build. We're also going to be using a dagger with Golden Vow on it just for the extra buff. We have whatever armor you would like. I just thought this one looked cool. It got me a lot of poise, and if you want more damage, use Rakshasa per usual. I have the two-handed sword talisman, the Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman for damage negation, the Spear talisman, the Axe talisman, and for our flask, we have the Spike Crack tier as well as the Stone Barb Crack tier. Now, when it comes to our stats and buffs, we're just using Flame Grant Me Strength for a buff. We have 60 Vigor, 20 Mind, 33 Endurance, Strength is 24, Dexterity is 80, Intelligence is 9, Faith is at 15 for Flame Grant Me Strength, and Arcane is at 8. This is level 170 build on New Game Plus 6. And guys, there you have it, 5 more fun and powerful builds that you can use on your playthrough in Elden Ring. I'm actually super excited for Night Rain. It's about to come come out at the end of the month. I'm going to leave a Discord link down in the description below if you guys want to join up and squad up for Elden Ring Night Rain. I believe I'm getting it for the PC, but I'm sure we'll have all kinds of PC players, Xbox, and PlayStation players as well. So once again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Make sure to hit the bell notification and subscribe on your way out. And until next time, stay safe, enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next one.